It's a Wednesday show. It's a Wednesday show. I wonder who's gonna be here on a Wednesday show. Will there be subscribers? Oh.
Internet! Oh, what up, Internet? It is Wednesday. What up, Wednesday? What up, Wednesday? What's going on, everybody? What's happening, everybody? Good to see you. Good to see you. You see all your bright and shiny, smiling faces coming in on a Wednesday because it's Wednesday here in Wednesday land. I'm excited. Are you excited? It is the last day of February. Hey, man. It's the beginning of the show. Hold on a minute. It's the mailman. Stop. Okay. Okay, the mailman was here, you guys. It was very exciting. It was very exciting. The mailman was here. He dropped off some mail. What do you want me to do? They show up unannounced, you know? They just show up unannounced out of the blue. You know, not like me. I put up a notification that I was going to be showing up to the internet. What up, everybody? It's a glorious Wednesday here. It's raining. It's cold. It's a little bit windy. But that's not all that bad, you know? That's not that bad. That's not that bad. It's a good thing. Because it's still winter. It's the last day of February here. And it's pretty typical end of February kind of weather. It's cold. It's going to be cold. It's going to be dark. It's going to last us the rest of our lives. So. But glad to see everybody here today. We looks like we got a low turnout. Must be Wednesday. People were just feeling the pain. They don't have time for the internet. But we got 108 of you here, so let's say hi real quick. Who was first to the chat? Mr. Bill Elsden himself. First to the chat. Thank you very much for showing up first. I love it. Great to see you. I don't know what happened to Frank, so don't ask, because I don't know. I hope he's all right, wherever he is. Let's see. Mellow Moogle's here. Loops LA. Bloodworm. Not sure if he's going to manage. Going to have to watch tomorrow. Okay. Got it. I understand. It's late where you're at. Daryl Dimer's here. Little Largemouth. Charlie List. Douglas Palmer showing up all the way from across the pond. All the way from across the pond. We love it. Coming internet style from around the world. Around the world, you guys. We love it. Good to see you, Douglas. Charlie List is here, if I forgot to say that. Nelson Montanez. Hopefully I got that right. Can't wait until I catch these live. 5 more months of school before that can happen. Well, thanks for showing up, Nelson. Sorry you got to go back to school, but that sounds like good stuff. I'd like to know what kind of school you're going to. What is it? What are you learning? What's your learnings, Nelson? Shout out to you on the replay. Douglas and Charlie were definitely talking a lot during the pre-show here, which I like. I always like the pre-show chat. There's always something good going on in there. Those of you that don't know, you actually can show up. Whenever I post the "this show is going to happen" thing, you guys can show up. The chat, it does open up once I post it. So there's always some good early banter going back and forth, which I always enjoy it. I always try to get a chance to chat in, but I'm always running around all crazy. But G-Bear is here. What's up, G-Bear? Actually, I got some comments from G-Bear the other day asking where was part 2 of a stand build from 2 years ago. I guess I can actually answer that question real quickly. I don't know what happened to that tank and stand. I don't know. I think I finished it and then never did another video on it. I don't know. I think there's a lot of people out there that could relate to me that when you when you spend a couple days making a video and then like it gets like 300 views or something, you're kind of like, I don't know if I want to make the second part. You know what I mean? I think that's just human nature, I think. But I don't know if I ever even got to setting up the other half of that 20-gallon. I think I was putting it up. I think I built it as a quarantine tank or something like that, and then never really utilized it for anything, as I didn't need it. I didn't need it for anything. I think that's what happened. But C&H Aquariums is here. Good to see you. Carson Anderson showing up. Damon Potter, what's going on? Jeremy Jetpack, what's up? Mary RNH20 Shrek, what's up, Mary? Good to see you. Grombool is here. I like that. Grombool. That's awesome. Tampa Tom is here. Dank Tanks, Licks Nibbles. Showing up for the pre-party. We like that. We like it when you show up for the pre-party. The Lysander is here. Ooh. Quinn Mallory had a question in the early chat. Hey, Quinn, go ahead and throw that up into the We're Live chat, and we'll talk about that for a minute. If you're still around. If you left, then maybe we won't. Gaddis Aquatics is here. What's going on? Let's see here as I scroll through the chat and people start losing interest. Rocky's Rocky is here. Right on. Good to see you. Robbie Rob. Let's see. Denise Lytle is here. Freshman Aquatics. Albert Metzger. Ooh. Bentley Pascal, how's it going? I think Bentley is making a run at my old camera. Wherever Bentley is. Let's see if he pops back up into the chat. I have to email him back. I forgot. JH Aquatics is here. Wushu Jimmy Brown. The Turtle Girl. Oh, man. We got a long list of celebrities here. I like it. Steve Shrimp Shrimpery. Iowa Aquarium Guy is here. BC Fish Room. What's up, my man? Michael Moncour. What's going on? I gotta email Michael Moncour again. Also, man, I gotta email a lot of people back. I feel like I've been emailing people all day, and I still have like a long list of people. Whew. Life is hard. Oh, boo-hoo. Woe is me. Sorry. Mr. B's Fish and Things is here. Good to see you. Oh, we've made it through the pre-chat, people. Let's see here. Okay, hold on. Hold on a second. My scrolly wheel went all crazy. Wushu Jimmy Brown is here saying Joel's self-portrait is kind of awesome. You guys, I think you guys can tell from the Monday show what that is going to be now. I think I realized that now you can actually see what it is. You guys can actually kind of tell what it's going to be at this point. I think there's enough paint on there that you can figure it out. Yeah, I'm having to fit that in whilst doing the other paint projects I got going, and honestly, you know what? I was having a conversation with Vicky the other day that I realized that I have a ton of plates spinning right now. You know, like those people that got the plates spinning at the circus? I realized I got a ton of plates spinning right now, and I need to figure out how to streamline some of that and just get rid of some of the projects I'm doing, because I just have like too many projects right now, and I'm just feeling lackluster. And honestly, I looked at the YouTube analytics, and I know this drives everyone insane if I ever talk about YouTube analytics, but I looked at it earlier, and I realized like I might not be engaging with the fans, because the little analytics thing got all the way down to, hold on, let's see, 18 views an hour. Which is pretty crazy. So, honestly, with all the plates I got spinning, I realized, like, I gotta figure out, I gotta wrap up some stuff so I can start, making more videos and stuff like that. Or something. I don't know. Because I know I'm gonna keep doing this live show, but I don't know. Maybe I gotta do more short videos for the people with super short attention span that they just can't hang. They start freaking out. They start freaking out. They're like, oh my God, this thing's gotta be an hour. It's 2 hours. Oh my God. And then they, I don't know, throw their phone away or something. I don't know what they do. I haven't been around for that. Charlie List says, it's like a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. Yeah, I feel like a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest right now. I'm trying to get stuff done, you know what I mean? Bloodworm with the 10-pound super chat, going big. Going big, my guy. Thank you very much. Saying, just in case I fall asleep, not that the show is boring, jet lag kicks in. Enjoy, peeps. I stay for a while. Oh, thank you very much, man. The super chats, all that stuff, super appreciated. I definitely appreciate it big time, my man. And I guess, speak of the devil, it is the last day of February, so if you guys want to hop onto the Patreon and help contribute to the madness here, today's the last day if you want to get in and sponsor the show or whatever you want to call it. That's basically what it is. People have been seemingly confused of what the Patreon is. The Patreon is basically like sponsoring, being able to show up and do this show. It came up a little while ago that some people were wondering, like, well, I don't understand. And the thing is like, I've got a lot of jobs going on right now, and being able to clear out the time to make and produce and make video and all that stuff for this show definitely occupies a lot of my time. So that's what the sponsorship is for. That's what it does, and that's what it do. You know what I mean? So that's what it's all about, and that's what the Patreon is for. I think somebody will post the Patreon into the chat if you want to check it out. If not, if you're watching later, it's in the description down below. You could always click on it if you like. I'm pretty enthusiastic. It's insane to say that we have 276 Patreon sponsors. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty crazy. That's pretty much a total freak out right there. And I have to admit, humble pie right here. This guy, humble pie. Thank you very much, you guys. I'm over the moon with that stuff. It's a big deal, and I'm excited, and I'm happy to say that we actually are working on booking out our plans for the aquatic experience this year, which is in Jersey. Speak of the devil. Victor Coco from New Jersey. The aquatic experience is in New Jersey this year. So we will be in Jersey whenever that is. I can't remember when that is. It's I think it's now I think it's in late September, I think is when it is. I'm not 100% on that. I'd have to look it up, but I forget. But we'll be in Jersey coming up. We were working on solidifying some of the plans for that. Very excited. Let's see here. Itch Spadoinkle says, if I could make a recommendation, you could try doing short project videos, like 4 parts per project, 1 project per month. You'll end up with a nice organized playlist. Yeah, that's a great. I wish I could do projects like that. I can never really seem to get to them. I have been trying to do shorter project videos for you guys. Like I did a reactor video a little while ago, which was like a live. Well, it wasn't a live build, but it was basically like just one take. I didn't edit it. I was like, I wonder if I can do this in an amount of time. I think it was about 8 minutes. So I think if people follow along with that video, you might be able to make something. That seems like a short project. But I am working on some highlight videos to explain the walkthrough of my fish room. Because I have, if you guys didn't notice, Flip Aquatics uploaded a fish room tour. A fish room tour of my fish room while he was here. And I think I said along those lines about 100 times in it. And I just about wanted to crash my car off of a cliff. If I said along those lines one more time in that video, I was about to drive off a bridge or something. But I did get a lot of pretty cool feedback from people that were like, man, why don't, it's like it's elusive. Like my elusive fish room is somehow, I don't know how to say that word. It's somehow super elusive. So I'm actually going to start doing a series on just outlining every tank and explaining the inhabitants and the setup and all that stuff. So I actually started shooting some of that today, and it looked like garbage, so I'm going back to reshooting it, you know what I'm saying? So I'll be back reshooting that video, mainly because, you know, I moved some fish out of some tanks and stuff, and like a idiot, I was standing in front of the camera talking about a fish that wasn't even in that aquarium anymore, so that was a solid move. We got some super chats here, and I'll definitely hit those up as soon as I can. First things first here, Quinn Mallory is asking, resealing a 33-gallon long, a 48 by 13 by 13, broke the center brace. Since it's so short but so long, does it really need a center brace? Okay, so here's some of the questions here. If it is a glass aquarium, you could probably get away with a rimless situation. But it being so long and skinny, it really depends on the thickness of glass. And if it had a center brace when it was built, typically that would lead me to believe that it actually is thinner glass with a top brace on it. Now, unfortunately, what will end up happening is the pressure from the very center of the long run is what will pop the silicone from the sides that's actually holding the sheets of glass together. So I would definitely recommend doing a Euro brace. Like, so I've done this a bunch of times in the past, whereas we broke the plastic top that went on when we were resealing a tank. So we ended up just we just cut a piece of glass, right? So we made it was essentially rimless with one strip of glass running across the middle. Made it a little bit easier to put lights on and stuff like that too. So it was a little bit of an accommodation for that. But the worst thing that you could possibly have is, you know, 30-something gallons of water on the ground and a bunch of dead stuff. You know what I mean? So that ultimately is the big-time thing that you need to avoid. Like, you might be able to have a slightly prettier setup if you went like 100% rimless, but the Euro brace is really important for that pretty thin glass. It'll actually bow and then pop the silicone loose, even if the glass like doesn't break itself. But if we were talking about an acrylic aquarium here, you have to go outstandingly thick with acrylic to have no brace on the top. You have to go outstandingly thick. And I will say, we had a 22-gallon shallow frag tank that was, I think, 5/8 thick. Maybe 5/8 of an inch thick. I don't know how many millimeters that is. Somebody will have to look that up. I think it might even have been thicker than that. It might have been 11/16. So it might have been 11/16 acrylic and only like 22 gallons, and it was this big short footprint. And even that super thickness of acrylic, had slowly bowed over time. So it was still a really cool tank, but it was bowing even when it was that thick, because it didn't have a top brace on it. That tank was an experimental tank. It was made by a local guy that wondered if he could get away with it. And it, you know, after it having been set up for a couple of months, we were measuring it, the micrometer, and you realized, like, oh yeah, it is Boeing, so that wasn't going to work. And I think eventually he ended up even going thicker on the next one that he did. I think he actually used even just a full inch acrylic, so maybe that worked, but I wouldn't recommend it if you're not an extremely accomplished acrylic builder. If you know, so I wouldn't recommend it unless it's something you're really experienced in doing. I know how helpful YouTube videos and stuff can be for building tanks, but in that situation, realistically, nothing is going to work as well as experience. And the downside of experience in building aquariums is lots of water on the floor, lots of dead stuff, and it's realistically a big time concern of mine, right? If stuff is going to end up dead. You know what I'm saying? That's my big issue. My big issue is not vacuuming up water, running fans, pulling carpet, repairing drywall. I don't care about that stuff because I do that stuff anyhow. So that's not that big of a deal. But to me, if you end up with a bunch of dead stuff, that's where the migraine starts to come on. You know what I'm saying? And I know I have some fellow ocular migraine people in the chat, because we've talked about this before. I'm one of those people that gets the ocular migraines where I feel like there's somebody's putting a dagger in behind my eyeball and I kind of can't see very well. So I can still see okay, but I get all these like crazy psychedelic stuff, which, you know, from going to the doctors, they're like, yeah, good luck, basically. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things. But when things die, that's the thing that drives me nuts, and that's when I get depressed about a thing. You know what I mean? Like cleaning up some water is not a big deal, but I realistically would definitely consider at least consulting somebody local that builds them. I know that in the past, when I had some questions, I actually talked to some local builders that definitely kind of brought me in the right direction, kind of showed me a few things that I maybe was lacking, and I didn't even know I was lacking in some of those things, and showed me some tips, ran me through some stuff, and was a big help. YouTube is also a big help, but the downside of screwing it up is just so intense for me that I don't recommend people to just go out and build tanks. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what your experience is, and I don't claim to know or anything like that. But if you are at the point where you're questioning these kinds of things, my initial impression would be, might be a good idea to take a step back, or at least for sure consider the at least Euro bracing, or build a top for it, or that kind of stuff. So we do have some super chisels here I got to get to. Mr. B's Fishing Things with a Canadian $2.79 super chat. Proof that super chat works on the iPhones, iDevices, iPads, all of the iThings. So those of you out there with the iPhones, iPads, iPods, iWhatevers, you guys can actually super chat now, and that is one of the big features that YouTube has improved. So the iProducts can super chat, whereas you couldn't before. You guys can super chat now. That is a brand new thing. Now, that doesn't matter too much to a lot of the viewers, but what does matter is today is the last day that we're going to have the chat up on the screen. Okay? Now, before everyone freaks out, let me explain why. So one of the big reasons I've always had the chat up on the screen here is because YouTube never played the live chat when a live stream was uploaded after the fact, right? So oftentimes if you watched a live stream without the chat in the video, it almost always made no sense, right? Because it was like the person who was live streaming, whether it be me or whoever, it just seemed like they were just talking to nobody, and it didn't make a lot of sense. Well, YouTube, including with having fixed the iPhone super chatting situation, when you watch a live stream after the fact now, the chat will play next to the video. The live chat will play next to the video. So that will be playing there. And so we don't need to put it in the video, which means there's some real estate space, which means I can do some more stuff with cameras and things, and it's going to make it way easier for me to have other people on my show here. It's been one of the ongoing problems that I do have this small studio that I work out of, and trying to position people in here with a one camera shot is terrifyingly bad, but I am super excited to say all this real estate. How do I do it? This is how I do it. Okay, like this. All this real estate over here is actually going to open up so I can actually just do a split screen. I know that Aqua Pros and I were actually talking about either him coming up here or me going down there and periodically doing some shows together, right? And, you know, I kept going, oh, man, I keep trying to work out the logistics of how to do this. And guess what? YouTube came through because now we have all the real estate for over there to just do a basic split screen right down the middle. And then with the multiple mics and cameras here that we have here, that we'll be able to, we'll be able to, what's the word? Just do a split screen, and then everybody will still be able to read the chat later on, which is cool. So today is the last day that the chat's going to be showing up on the screen. Hopefully, those of you watching later, it should be working by Friday. So I'm pretty stoked on that. That's pretty exciting, and I think it's going to be pretty cool. Kevin Fitzgerald with the $5 super chat. Much love, man. Thank you very much. Oh, wait, you have a question on there. Just giving you a hard time. I was going to act like just say, hey, thanks, and doop-a-doo, right? But Kevin Fitzgerald with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hey, Corvus Corydoras are my favorite. I keep them with lots of cover, sand, and Indian almond leaves. Any suggestion for more natural conditions? Well, it sounds like you got... I mean, I would love to give you some more pointers from what you're already doing, but realistically, it sounds like you're already doing it. You definitely want to have a ton of cover for Corydoras. You want to have lots of plants growing above. It's going to be very important. Almost always very important. And then the other thing that is very, 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 like 100% important for Corydoras is to make sure that you have a fine enough sand that they don't tear up their little whisker barbels. These little whisker barbels they got hanging off of their face are vitally important for them to survive. And any kind of rough substrate, whether it's like, you know, fluorite or anything that's like real kind of gritty like that, is just not good for them at all. And then, so another thing I would recommend is have some higher and lower areas in your substrated zones, if you know what I'm saying. If hopefully, oh, does that make sense? So I would think like kind of shelves a little bit. So maybe if you had, I'm not sure what size your tank is, but let's talk about like a 20 long, right? Let's say you have like a nice low area in the front. I would do a step up to another sandy area so that they can either have the choice of the elevated or being down low, and then just a real nice canopy up above them. And then, of course, feed them a variety of foods, and they should be doing fantastically. As long as your temperature is good and you're growing nice plants and all that kind of stuff, then, yeah, hopefully that helps. It sounds like you're already doing a lot of the stuff that needs doing. Mateo 501, my boy from Idaho. What's up, my man? Good to see you. Saying his $1.35 gets him 24 plus hours of good old-fashioned gibberish each month from me. Thank you. Well, thank you. It's like, honestly, I just, between the super chats, you guys watching, and the Patreon, it's like I can afford to show up and do this show and not even consider driving off a cliff. You know what I mean? I don't even have to think about it, you guys. We're doing fantastic. I know we have some big lofty projects that I want to do. Some of them are going to happen whether anything gets funded or not. Some of them are going to happen. I mean, I know some people out there are just gonna get the benefit of some of those crazy projects happening, regardless of what they're doing or not. But that's totally cool too, because we're gonna do it. You know what I mean? I can't wait to. I have to admit, Vicky and I did get the local housing report, and our plan is working. Someday we'll be able to buy the farm in the good way, not the I'm gonna die way. You know what I mean? Don't want to be buying the farm that way. Hold on, what's the deal here? Hold on a second. Sorry about that. I was sanding a bunch of stuff earlier, and I realized I was sitting over here with the crazy nose whistle. Now it sounds normal. Now my nose sounds normal. Sorry about that, guys. It's twice today in this show. I've literally, the mailman's here. I got to run over there, blow my nose real quick. What am I doing? It's hardly even professional, you guys. Oh, you know it. You know it. Oh, and a super chat I completely missed. Did I miss that one? Oh, I missed it. No, I got it. No, I didn't say anything about it. Okay. Oh, here we go. Weldon Aquatics with a $2 super chat saying coffee plus knowledge equals Corvus. Oh, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. That's so cool. Thank you. It's cool to even have that reputation. I know I'm kind of an idiot sometimes, but I mean, realistically, I do have some knowledge. Sometimes I screw up, but hopefully I like to self-correct, if I get things wrong. Dango Bicon. Wow, that's a wild name, man. I got to figure out how to say that right. Hopefully I did. With the £1.99 super chat, worked on the iOS. That's right, it works on the iPhones now. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. I'm trying to catch up with the chat here. Let me get the pop-out chat so I can look at it over here. There we go. Yeah, it looks a little more natural if I'm looking over here. G-Bear's here asking about the Scootin' Fruity Puffers. That's right. Today's video portion brought to you by the Scootin' Fruity Puffers. Dango Bicon with a follow-up question from the super chat is, am I going to get to go to Peru? That is still up in the air, you guys. I have no idea. It costs a lot of money to go to Peru, and I don't know. I don't know. I have no answer for that. I'm gonna try to go to every aquatic convention that I can. We're going to the aquatic experience. There's also I'm trying to go to every aquatic convention, meeting sort of stuff that I can go to. I know that Corey and I were just discussing the aquatic experience right before we got on here. We're actually booking the stuff for that, so that's exciting. We also were talking about, I believe it's Michigan and Minnesota. I believe there's one in each one, and I'm not sure when they are. I think one of them is at the end of March, I think, or May. One of the months that starts with M is going to be out there, and I'm going to do my darndest to go along on that. I may get... right now, I'm sort of in the negotiation of whether or not I'm going to end up going up to Alaska for a work project, so that is a weird negotiation to be in at this point because... you know, honestly, because of the Patreon and you guys and stuff, I actually hold all the chips in that negotiation now, which is not my normal place to be in when it comes to work stuff. I am not normally in that position, well, for at least for a long time. It's been a long time since I've been in that position where it's like, yeah, you got to convince me. You know what I'm saying? It's not me convincing you. It's the other way around. So we'll see how that goes. But I would rather, what's the word? I would rather go to the fish club meetings than go to Alaska. But we are going to Alaska in August, so there will be some fantastic filming opportunity. Now, that thing is scheduled to not kick anything out of the way. That's actually just going to be part of Vicky and I's vacation this year to go up there and help family out. We're going to probably build some more pig pens and crazy stuff, and hopefully we'll be able to do some cool live streams from up there again, and that'll be exciting. So that is actually something that's actually happening. That's all booked, and the flights and all that kind of stuff. And you know, I've also got most things pretty well organized to make sure that you know, we're gonna miss a couple of live shows, but I'm gonna kind of bookend around it, and it'll work out pretty good. But that's going on. So the Peru thing, I don't know. I don't know. It's just right up in the air, and I have no idea. Let's see. Priscilla says, what's going on here? What is going on? I see Priscilla MK Art is in here. I know you guys mentioned a lot about the paintings that I do and stuff like that. If you're actually looking for somebody to do you maybe some of your channel art, or maybe you have a favorite fish or something like that, I refer people to Priscilla MK, who is in the chat right now. Hover over her name in the chat, or maybe she'll post up, you know, either, you know, her website or something like that, or somebody could post up her website or whatnot. But if you are looking for art that is a different style of mine is all kind of crazy and nonsensical, but hers is more real. It's more real life. Like, so if you're looking something that looks like a piece of art that's more like the picture, she's fantastic for that. She's done some really cool. She's definitely done some really cool, like Twin City Guppies. I don't know if you guys have seen their channel art. Priscilla did that. Super awesome. So feel free to check out Priscilla MK, because I know people email me a lot, and I'm like, man, I'm so busy. By the time I would get to it, I think it would piss people off. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, it would irritate me if I was like, hey, could you do a thing? And they're like, oh, I could do it in 5 months or something, you know. What's going on with the chat now? It's freaking out? What's going on here? Okay. Well, there we go. But we have some super chats here I got to get at. I was trying to get into more of the regular chat. People get pissed that super chats take the front seat, but it's like, hey, man, people throwing money in the tip jar. it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of how it works. They're bright, and I got to answer them, right? Guppy Guru, who's a long time showing up to the live streams. Thank you very much, Guppy Guru, for sure, showing up with the $1.99 first super chat. Love, or first oh, look at me and my reading out loud. First super chat. Love the stream. Fluval's tripping, or hashtag Fluval's tripping. Oh, thank you very much. And then Guppy Guru amended right down below there. Thank you. 50 characters is very little. Yep, you gotta make it. You have to make it fit if you're doing the $2 one. I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes sense that it's incentivized with like how many characters you get. But I think 50 characters for $2 seems a little bit low to me. But you know, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you showing up. I appreciate you showing up for sure. Bloodworm. Sorry, pasted wrongly. Stay Peru trip oriented. It will boost your YouTube channel for sure. As you guys know, I've been working on this YouTube channel for like 10 years or something. I don't know. And you know, I'm interested in going to Peru to do the film portion and catch fish and post, you know, some interesting stuff that other people may or may not be able to go to and check out. You know, I recently was having a conversation with somebody that is disabled, and they were like, "Man, I really want you to go because I could never make it there with the flight and stuff." And you know, my heart, like 100%, was just like, "Oh man." You know, that's an incredible responsibility, and you know, if I do end up going, I really hope to come through as well as I possibly can in regards to that specific situation, and hopefully I can. Hopefully I can make it happen. I don't understand why there's this weird wrinkle in my shirt back here that keeps drawing my attention. I don't know what's going on with this collar. You guys, it's just so stressful that my shirt's doing weird stuff, right? But yes, as I mentioned, it's a big responsibility to be able to do that kind of stuff if I do get the chance to do it. JH Aquatics with the $7.77 super chat saying hashtag Peru or bust. I'm just going to try to go to Peru, you know what I mean? So hopefully I don't have to bust in order to get that to happen. I always wondered about that. It was like New York or bust. Like, what does that mean? Do you just like you go broke, or you get run over? You know, I don't know. It always seems so like antithetical, I guess, maybe. Excuse me. I got a little choked up. That happens. Thank you very much for the super chat. Alvin Alejo finally joined that Patreon with the $2 super chat and joined the Patreon. That is right there. Alvin Alejo during the show becoming a Patreon supporter. Sponsor. I'm going to call you guys sponsors from now on. That feels better than a supporter. Sponsor. You know what I mean? Like sponsored by Bloodworm with the Patreon sponsorship during the show from Bloodworm, and Bradley Park ever so generously raising up his sponsorship during the show. Thank you very much, Bradley, Bloodworm, and Alvin. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. We do have some cool stuff coming up on Friday. There were a lot of people that are going, yeah, Friday's show is going to be the 666, episode 666, which I think Friday's show will be fairly fun. I've got some cool things planned for the Friday show, and I will say that I'm excited for the Friday show. I got this crazy splinter in my finger yesterday, and I cut it out with a knife. And all of a sudden, it just drew my attention because it does not feel good. But I do have some cool stuff scheduled for Friday. I would not miss Friday's show. There will be some really cool stuff happening, and I can't tell you what it is. but there will be some cool stuff happening. So if you guys are really excited, tune in for Friday's show because it is going to be, okay, so it will be relatively exciting, but it will be kind of cool. Okay, I don't want to get people all super zazzed and then they're all let down like, man, that was dumb. So, Friday's show will be more of the exact same nonsense, so don't get super excited, but get excited and show up. To those of you that have been following along the show for a long time, it'd be something along the lines of an extravaganza, if you know what I mean. So yeah, don't miss Friday's show. It should be fun. Let's see. At Corvus, is there a way to link YouTube and Patreon or some other combo so the names are the same? Yeah, I could link the, well, so my YouTube channel and the Patreon are linked together. But if you guys go to the Patreon, it's actually just my name. That's actually my name. Just the same as if you go to like Facebook. That's my name and that's who I am. For a long time, I was always concerned that people would know my name, and because of some unfortunate interactions early on with the internet, it was always great to have a handle, you know, like a fake pseudonym handle kind of thing, which is probably closer to the Me Too movement than anything, you know. It's like you don't want to end up with some creeps outside your house or whatever. But nowadays, a lot of things I just title with my name. But that's me. Dango Boycon, forgive my naivete. Is Patreon the same as a super chat? No, the Patreon is a once-a-month sponsorship platform. So it's a independent third-party platform, right? That is essentially, you can go on there and you can support creators and stuff. Creators that you want to help support that, like me, are sort of just at this, trying to start it out, get this thing off of the ground. That's basically what Patreon is for. So if you go on there and if you take a look, there's a link in the chat. It's a separate thing. You can go there, and hold on. Right now I'm going to name some of the channels that I sponsor personally, which is Sashimi Whiskey Vision, LR Brett's, Flynn's Fish Forum, The Fish Nerd, Priscilla MK, Creative Pet Keeping, Nisi of the North, JH Aquatics, Susan for SLC Aquatics, Danny's Aquaria, Ray's Aquaria, and Fish for Thought. Those are the channels that I sponsor right now, personally. So that's the thing, that you can find a whole bunch of creators and stuff like that on there. It's an independent site that basically is a once-a-month thing, so it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different because it's like you just go, hey, $5 a month, and just to help out. And they do take a smaller portion, but you also have a good idea of what kind of money that we have to spend on production and stuff. So, like, you know, a perfect example would be like if I was going to drive, for instance, to, let's say I was going to drive from where I live to San Francisco, right? That's kind of like the Patreon would be a way to pay for the gas money to drive down there, film and shoot, and then like drive back. It'd be like a perfect example is that, you know, some people would go, oh, hey, I'm going to kick in a couple bucks a month. Then the show has a budget to work from and stuff. I know recently somebody was asking me, like, do you pay taxes off of Patreon money? And yes, I do. So, yeah, so it just counts as income and that kind of stuff, and it gets doled out that, you know, it gets deducted that way and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think it's I've been a big proponent. I've been in a positive direction for Patreon. It's been a huge influence with me being able to actually do this show. As you guys know, I basically spent all my money to kind of launch this live stream. Basically, I spent all of the money that I had saved up, and I did a live stream every day for 120 days or something like that. 110 days, I think. The goal was to get to 90. And so I did live stream after live stream after live stream every single day to basically kind of like launch this show. And anybody out there would know that, you know, I've spent a lot of money on camera equipment, recording equipment, computers, blah, 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 blah. I basically spent all my money to go like, look, I'm going to go all in on this, coming on live to come talk live to the fish fam, the fish community. You know, it's kind of funny. I was trying to think of a name of like what I could call people that are fans of my channel. And I was like running off of the Corvus thing, right? And I was going, Corv something, Corv what? Corvettes. Oh, Corvettes. That'd be great. Oh yeah, that'd be great. That's a great name. They named a car after that 60 years ago, and it's been popular ever since. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, man. But, you know, so whatever you guys like to go by, whether it's the fish fam or any of that kind of stuff, you know, my idea was to come on and do this. You know, you guys can actually look through my channel. I started trying to do this like 4 years ago, or maybe before that, I don't know. But there was a point where I was trying to do this, and then I kept trying to do this, and then I kept trying to do this. But this last year, I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna do it every single day. And if basically if everybody tells me to F off at the end of it, then I'll have my answer. And you know what? By the end of it, we had a bunch of people on Patreon and a bunch of people that were like, no, keep doing this, keep doing this, keep doing it. We really enjoy it for whatever, you know, for whatever the reason is. You know, people enjoyed it and whatnot. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep doing it. So, yeah. But that's what makes it possible, and I don't even know how we're just like on this super long Patreon conversation. But I guess I'm just trying to show my appreciation, I guess, here at the last day, the last day of the month. And you know, with the new Patreons and the previous Patreons and the people that have had to delete it and the people that have re-upped it and changed it and all that stuff, I appreciate all of it. I really do. I really do, and it. You know, so. And the zombie drummer, oh my gosh, maybe he's got it. The zombie drummer with a 1, 2, 3, 4, $12.34 super chat. It's bright yellow. That means you get to type in a whole bunch of stuff, but he could do it in just a couple of words, saying, late to the party, what's up, my peeps? Hashtag Oceaneers. Somebody check and see if that if there's any kind of copyright or anything like that. I need multiple people to Google search whether or not we can actually say that. I hope so. It would be awesome. We'd be able to attribute it to the zombie drummer, my man. And I hope ow, my foot. You guys, I get this like crazy cramp in my foot. And I don't know what's wrong with it. It was feeling weird yesterday, and it feels weirder in a different way today. So I don't know if you guys could check that out. Check out the Oceaneers, see if that works. If that does work, then we'll just start hashtagging it at Fluval. We're going to go to the Fluval and just have them hashtag that on there and just make them even more confused. All right, and considering James Floyd's got himself a Corvus Makes Me Poop mug. It's perfect. You know, I have to admit, there are some people that have popped onto the Teespring and ordered a couple of mugs off of the Teespring, And I appreciate it, man. The Corvus makes me poop mugs. Let's see, how many do we sell? Well, I got to tell you, you're in a... Let's see, what? Where did it go? All time. Where's the all time thing? Analytics, all time. Oh, here we go. How do we go? Okay, so here we go like that. Update. Since the beginning of the year. Okay, well, this thing's ridiculous, and it says there's been none. Let's go like this. Update. Well, I don't know. These guys' analytics are broken. Because, I don't know. I think there's only... Oh, there we go. Okay, wait. I think I found it. Oh, there it is. Okay, 4. There's only 4 of them in the world. So you have 1 of 4. You know? So... that's a pretty unique club, man. There's only like 4 of those. But those people that have gone to the Teespring and ordered some of the shirts and all that, thank you very much. Definitely appreciate it. I've actually got some new designs I'm working on for the, what's the word? For the t-shirts coming out, and hopefully in whatever amount of time, whatever the amount of time is, I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but hopefully I'll actually be printing shirts fairly soon, which I'm excited for, and I definitely got some of the designs working for those, so those should be pretty cool. So hopefully Oceaneers, apparently from most people have been Google searching it, that apparently it's going to be all right. It's going to be cool. So when I Google it, nothing shows up, but it's awesome, so maybe we can go with that. Yeah, hashtag Oceaneers. I think I might end up putting that on the back of a shirt. Let me see. Paste as plain text. Oh my gosh. It does exist somewhere. But it's actually 2 words wherever it exists. There's only 1 file that has that on the internet. On the entirety of the internet, really? In an FTP directory? Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good with the Oceaneers, you guys. So I think that's going to work. That'll be cool. All right. So I don't understand what's going on here, because I got an email that says we have a new Patreon, and Jack Betts, my man, is back. Jack Betts. And yet I don't know, it's not showing up on Patreon. I don't know why. You guys have overloaded the Patreon system, I'm sure, which is awesome. We should break their website. That would be cool. We don't have to do that. I think it'd be good. Barbara Jackson's throwing down a $4.99 super chat. She's working out the iOS, you guys. It's easy to tell if people have an iPhone or not, because their super chats come up as 99 cents, or like the whatever 99. $4.99 from Barbara Jackson, who's been a longtime supporter here. Saying the San Francisco gas money, well, about 1 gallon's worth. Come on down from one of the loyal Oceaneers. Yes, we do hope to make it to California this year. I need to take Vicky Toria down there, so hopefully that works out. There is a super chat here I missed. It was from Potato. It was a $2 super chat saying, to Peru on a bus. It's Peru or bus, bro. Yeah. Ride a bus to Peru. That'll be smart, you know. So, thank you very much, Barbara Jackson. Thank you very much, Potato. Thank you very much, Jack, Bloodworm, Bradley Park. Let's get to the video portion of the show. Unfortunately, we have one viewer in the chat who's probably not going to be super entertained by our video portion. Mr. Corey of the Aquarium Coop. I think he deleted whatever he was saying. so he doesn't show up now. But I saw him in there chatting, and a whole bunch of people said hi to Corey, so I'm assuming it must be him. Unless there's some other Corey. Where is he? What did he say? Oh, he says he has one of the mugs as well, and he poops in it. Okay, well, that's weird. That's bizarre, man. Why are you pooping in it? Don't say that. It's just poop. It's just weird to poop in a coffee mug. That's just bizarre. Quinn Mallory says the ACA convention is in Houston this year. First time it's been in Texas in 18 years. Once in a generation event. Don't miss it. Well, you know, only if you're 18 years old, it's once in a generation, right? Because, you know, unless you're 18, but, you know, then it's once in a generation. But if you're old like me, it's not once in a generation. So as I mentioned earlier, you guys, the chat portion is no longer going to overlay the video anymore, which I'm kind of excited for because I can actually put bigger video up here for the video portion, which will probably inspire me to actually film more video portion, I think. I do have a goal to try and get it from the... So right now I've been doing about a 12-minute video portion, and I'd like to get up to 20 minutes. So I'm going to see how well that works out. It might be a mind-bending situation, but who knows. Dan Squire says 18 years is a generation. Well, maybe. Maybe if you're in the Who, I guess. Mellow Moogle says, yeah, come back to the Greater Portland Aquarium Society. Spoiler alert, we will actually be coming back to the Greater Portland Aquarium Society meeting. I don't know which one, though. Quinn Mallory says, a generation is defined as, and then deleted it. Okay. Well, how long is a generation? Well, maybe it is 18 years because, like, you know, you could breed. You know what I mean? You could breed in the 18 years. Yeah, so maybe. Or is it 20? I don't know. Either way. Back to the video portion. Some people were asking if I got a Scootin' Fruity puffer. Negative. Negative, Ghost Rider. I did not get a Scootin' Fruity puffer. Schadenfreude. Schadenfrauden, however you're supposed to say them. Skadoody doody. No, I did not get one of them. You know, if you guys have ever seen, what is it? Not from my cold dead hands. That would be Corey with his Scootin' Fruity puffers, and I don't blame him because these guys are awesome possum. They're neato mosquito. They're fresh to the beat. They're hip. I don't know. They're all those good stuff. They're awesome, and I dig them, and I really hope he breeds them. But me to get one from him, that is not going to happen, I don't think. You know what I mean? The likelihood of something like that happening, like Corey just giving me one of his puffers, is like, it's less than zero. You know what I mean? But, and I will also, to be brutally honest here, I don't think that I could ever, well, not ever, but I don't think in the current incarnation of myself, I don't think I would be able to really, honestly shell out the price tag for these guys. I mean, I can't remember if they're $300. I can't remember if they're $500. I don't even know, because it's just such a number that's like, there's no way I can get two of those and do anything with them. Mainly because, you know, personally, like, a big part of my expertise is breeding, you know, freshwater shrimp. You know, like, that's one of my things. So if I was personally going to put, like, let's say, I can't remember how much these cost, whether it was $300 or $500, I don't remember, but let's just go right in between and say, well, I'd have to get two, so I'd have to get a male and a female, so let's say it would be $800, right? if I was going to spend $800, I would be buying a giant colony of some type of Caridina shrimp. I don't know. I don't know if I would go for like pintos or something like that, but I would be definitely back in the Caridina game and be breeding those because of the years and years I spent breeding those and selling them off and doing all that kind of stuff. That is something I know how to do. That is something I know how to manage. It's also something I know how to profit from, or at least just not necessarily profit, but make it cost nothing, basically. You know what I mean? It's like, this isn't costing anything to maintain. So that would be the route that I would go personally, because I'd want to be going to my strong suit. You know what I'm saying? I'd want to be going, I'd want to be playing to doing something I'm good at doing, you know? So that would be the deal. You know what I mean? It would be the deal that I would go for. I wouldn't go for these puffers, mainly because I'm not that good at them. But if I was to personally get some puffer shrimp, I almost said puffer shrimp. Ridiculous. If I was going to get some puffer fish, I would probably go back with figure 8 again, because you guys know we used to have a school of 6 of them. And they were fantastic fish. I had so much fun with them. The one downside is they're like a pack of wolves, and you can't really have them with anything else. You really just can't. I mean, there's other stuff that you could put them with, but they gotta be gangster. You know what I'm saying? So I might do that again someday. That might be the direction that I go in again. My thought process, though, would be, and this is just an example of what I'm going to do, so this isn't saying this is what I'm going to do. Let's be straight about that. I would probably take something like my 180 and dedicate it to like 30 of them. You know what I mean? Or 40 of them. Right. And just be like, yeah, this is the Chaos Puffer tank. You know what I mean? Like, this is just, oh yeah, there's 38 in here, and they all work together. You know? But I do need to, Aqua Naturalist is asking, did you keep your figure 8s in freshwater? Yes, as they were young, we had them in freshwater, and we moved them up to brackish, and eventually moved them to full salt when they went to their future home, which ended up they got rehomed to a store. So they went full salt, but our plan was to never really go full salt with them. Basically the main guy that was that had those basically moved. So he decided like, no, I'm gonna get rid of them, and he ended up getting rid of them, and I couldn't convince him not to. But the big issue is that I didn't, I honestly, at the time, I didn't want to have to keep taking care of them, so I kind of just sloughed the responsibility, because I was just like, well, I don't want to take over 100% of the time. And as you guys know, I've been sober for a long time, so this can actually give you a bit of a timeline of when this was. It's like 5-6 years ago. Yet another, you could just pile this into the millions of reasons why I got sober. But at the time, being a full-blown alcoholic and all that kind of stuff, I realistically was just like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to take care of them. So instead I took the lazy route and let him take them to a store. Well, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I ended up getting rid of them. But the plan was to never move them up to full salt. It was just, it was always going to just have them at like 0.0011. So, less than half of full salt, but kind of a strong brackish, and they will do fantastically for a really long time in that water with that amount of salt in it. And rest assured, that's what I would have done, but we just didn't have them that long, and they ended up getting moved along, rehomed. I don't understand what is going on with my email right now. It is bizarre. What is going on with this computer? Is this computer broken? Hey, man, are you broken? No? Okay. Let me check on that computer. It's freaking out. Yeah, I think if I was going to get puffers, that's what I would do. I would do a big colony of those and see if I could get a good opportunity to get them breeding, or maybe at the very least, it would definitely make for some crazy videos and definitely a very entertaining tank. That was one of the biggest parts that I found to be with the figure eights, is that they were a wildly entertaining fish for how sassy they are. They are always moving around. They are always interacting with each other. They're always interacting with stuff outside of the tank. But I would have to get a different aquarium, because just as a hot tip to people out there, if you do end up getting a puffer, it's not the greatest idea in the world to get a puffer into an acrylic tank and then forget to feed them. You have to make sure they're grinding their teeth down, or they will scratch up the inside of your acrylic aquarium. As they buzz around, and if you've let their teeth get too long, they will scratch your really expensive aquarium up, and you will be very disappointed, and you will end up, you know, I used to be one of the guys that used to have to buff out the inside of aquariums when people would bring them in. And I have to tell you, it is a big-time task, and it ain't super cheap either. So, just bear that in mind if you ever are going to put a puffer into a tank. You really have to make sure that their teeth stay down if they're in an acrylic tank. Fish Key Largo asking, does your show always start at 3 p.m. Pacific, -8 GMT? 8 hours behind Greenwich Mean Time is the proper way to say it. That will change to -7 GMT with the beginning of Daylight Savings Time. Yes, my show starts at that time. Yes, you've got it correct. 8 hours behind GMT is when the show starts. And then when is Daylight Savings Time? April something? Spring Daylight Savings Time 2018. Oh my, that's actually coming up very soon. March 11th. It's not even April at all. Ho, ho, ho. Hey, you guys, watch out. March 11th, we're going to have to spring forward. We're going to lose an hour, which is terrible. I hate Daylight Savings Time. It is the dumbest thing ever. But here's a little hot tip for you guys out there. If you're wondering what Daylight Savings Time is about and you think it has something to do with farmers, it doesn't. It doesn't have anything to do with farmers. It has everything to do with our power grid. It has everything to do with our power grid. And it basically saves, I think the last time I saw it, their argument against it was that it's only saving 4%. The estimates are between 4 and 7% off of our power grid, but then when you start to think about 360 million people, 7%, that's a lot. So it actually does save power. We end up using less electricity. So it actually is a green thing to do. It's more ecologically minded to actually be doing that. I don't understand why this isn't playing forever, even though it was supposed to. Okay, we'll start it over. Right here. So if anybody is ever wondering what the Daylight Savings Time is, that's what it's all about. That's why they do it. Oh, AB. Oh, man, I could almost read that name super wrong. I'm glad I read it twice before I said it out loud. AB Shoelace. I could have easily said that name wrong. I want you guys to read the name. I want you guys to read the name of this super chat just like real quickly. I could have accidentally, man, you guys, I could have accidentally cussed super hard, which would have offended a lot of people. And my apologies to people out there if I accidentally do let a swear word slip every once in a while. As you guys know, I got a mouth like a sailor, and I really do have to think about it for the 2 hours that I'm live to not be, dropping F-bombs or anything crazy like that. So hopefully, to those of you out there, appreciate it, to keep my language to a dull roar. I do have to do that. But AB Shoelace with a $5 super chat is asking, is aggression normal breeding behavior for apistogramas? Male really aggressive to 2 females, one losing color, normal, or should I intervene? I would say if one of your females is starting to lose color, she could be having a problem. So I would intervene a little bit with that female fish just to make sure that she has a good opportunity to recover. But yes, it actually is part of the breeding behavior. Some aggression towards each other is very common in fish to trigger breeding behavior. We see it as aggression. They just see it as, this is what I do when I'm supposed to try to do the thing that I'm trying to do, we see it as aggression, and mainly because we're smart enough to know the result, But yes, that is very common. My recommendation would be to, if you have something like a breeder box, maybe you don't have another tank. Maybe you don't have like a quarantine tank or anything like that. But maybe you have like a breeder box that you can actually kind of cover up. So one of the big issues I have with breeder boxes is that they're clear and we hang them from the top. And it's like the light is just blasting right in there, and they have no safety. They don't feel like they're safe at all. So if there's a way to make her feel safe in like a breeder box, give her a little bit of fish, give her a little bit of time by herself, it's going to be the same kind of treatment that you would do if you were breeding beta fish. It's that you want to kind of allow the female to sort of recover, because they do definitely take a beating, and that's going to be a big deal. It's a big deal if it just continues on, because the males are just relentless. They just can't stop. They can't stop doing. They just can't stop it. It's like the only thing they know how to do. Eat and try to breed. Derek Runyon's here. What's up, my man? Good to see you. Is asking, Joel, you got puffers? No, I don't have puffers. I actually was lucky to get to feed the little Scootin' Fruity puffers, so I wanted to give you guys a little update from my end on the Scootin' Fruities, the Shodadentai puffers. I'm working with the new camera here, guys, so I'm working the ins and outs with the new camera, trying to get some shots, work some new angles. It is a marvelous camera. I love it a lot. It's hard to work with. It's very different because it's pulling in and taking shots differently than what I'm super used to with crop sensor and all that kind of stuff. So, but I'm having a great time with it. I shot some footage here. We got not only the Shodadentai puffers, but the puffers kind of leave in this video, and then you get an opportunity to check out the leopard frog plecos, which are amazing in this tank. I do have to tell you, like, this tank is pretty much as gangster as a tank can get. Let me up the brightness here a little bit so you guys can get a little better. Yeah, that did not help at all. Hold on a second. We want, like, a little less contrast. Let me see what we got here. Let me move the controls over here so I can just see what I'm doing. Boop, 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 boop. That's all the way up. That's all the way up. All right, maybe that looks a little bit better on YouTube. I don't know. So it was kind of a question once they add it up. But they are amazing. These Scootin' Fruities are amazing little fish, and then I have to tell you, those L134s, I didn't realize that they had come out this much because I had basically set up the camera and then had to go. I went away. I basically went away, so I got as many of the shots as I could do, and then I had to kind of pan and scan. So I zoomed in on what we wanted to see here, which is awesome because the L134s, these little Plecos, do not come out if you are near the aquarium. They're like, whoa, I don't know who that guy is, but I ain't going to be around for that. So we actually did get some really cool footage of some of these Plecos and some of these puffers. And I do have to admit that this tank is completely packed with really expensive stuff that This guy right here will probably never own. I know that people have looked at some of my aquariums over the years and been like, man, that is crazy. That's like so much money in shrimp and stuff. But I would like to remind people that I did start out with 54 shrimp is what I started with. So basically when I got up to like 1,500 shrimp and 2,000 shrimp and stuff like that, those were all from, those were all bred, you know what I mean? So I had to go about it the hard, long way. So, you know, it's just, I don't know if I'd ever have this much expensive stuff in a tank, is basically what I was trying to say. Because these puffers are super rare. These plecos are super rare, but it was a good opportunity to get some video so you guys could check it out. That's what I was trying to say. There we go. All right. I gotta figure out what the heck was going on with my brain. Whew. All right. Weldon Aquatics is here saying, just got a piece those myself and saw this in my pair. Yep. They will do that. That's what they do. Karen Pepe is here. I thought I had to do with kids coming home from school in the dark. Nope. Daylight savings doesn't have anything to do with that. Wes Barshinger, daylight savings time started in World War II for the factory workers. That might be right. That might be right. As far as I know, daylight savings time has to do with the power grid, because we consume less power over time. Well, let me see here. The practice became widespread on the 21st of March, 1918, is when it happened, when they put it into effect. So it wasn't World War II. It was actually just after World War I. Widespread on March 21st, 1918, as a way to reduce the number of hours homes needed to use lighting and electricity. That's why, because it reduces the amount of time that everybody is home using electricity. Boop, 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 in 1918. So that's hopefully explains the daylight savings. I hate it. I hate daylight savings. I know that it's there for a good reason, because it saves electricity and stuff like that. But the way I figure it, it's just like, I don't know, make people get more LED lights or something, and we'll save electricity that way. I don't know. Let's see here. Mellow Moogle says, in the giving mood, click the link to see Joel's Amazon wish list. I don't wish my wish list on anybody. I think anything in my wish list that was reasonable, I guess the Mr. Brown coffees, I guess, is really the only thing that's reasonable, and a flexi arm thing. You know, I need some monitors, hard drives, and lenses are the big deal right now, and I can't afford any of them, but I will at some point. I'm going to see if I can cut my other kidney in half and send that thing out there. But, you know, I wouldn't wish my wish list on anybody, you know, like, it's crazy. It's a crazy ask, but people ask me to put it up there, and that's what it is that's needed at this point. So I don't know. I don't think anybody's going to buy me a new car. That's going to be or a new work truck is going to be my big next thing I got to do. I am arguing so hard right now with the, I'm arguing super hard right now with the insurance people, and it is mind-bending. It is mind-bending dealing with those insurance people. I'm sorry to say it. Anybody that works for insurance, car insurance, I'm sorry. I don't understand how that's even allowed to exist at this point. It is nuts. It's crazy because, you know, like my insurance company, as soon as they found out I was in an accident, they sent out an adjuster to do an appraisal. He was here 2 days after the fact. A human. He came here. Like, the guy's insurance that I'm dealing with, they had me download their app and take pictures of my vehicle's damage, right? And then they've decided, so my insurance company that was here in person said, hey, man, you know, I'm sorry to say it, but your truck's going to be totaled because it's not worth how much the damage is to fix it, because it's probably going to be like a 4 or 5 day repair. And even just the labor charge to repair it is more than what your truck's worth, right? And I'm like, okay. And he's like, plus you're going to need a bunch of parts too. So, all right. But apparently the insurance company that this dude has says that the repair is going to cost $300 from the pictures that they saw. They didn't even send anybody out. So I don't know. It's stressing me out, and I'm going to figure it out because, you know, I don't know. I'm going to figure it out one way or another because I'll get there one way or another. I'll figure it out. But that is bothering me today. Sorry to interject my problems on you guys. It's not a big deal. But Joel Gillett says, kidneys are overrated. You are correct. That's right. They are overrated. You don't really need them. I could sell them for stuff, right? Soggy Pits is here. Did anyone else get the tank Corey was talking about yesterday? Oh, man. I saw so many people picked up that tank. The little, oh, man, what is it? Top fin? That little top fin 5-gallon? I saw so many people got that little aquarium. I saw it on a ton of forum posts today. I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. Like, so many people actually went out and got it. They used the coupon. They did all this stuff. I couldn't even believe, that, how many people I saw had done it. I was like, wow, man, PetSmart must have sold out of those. You guys know there's no love lost for PetSmart with this guy. You know what I mean? So if they put stuff on sale, that's their deal. That's their problem. Whether they got to make money or not, I don't know. Let's see here. I got one today for Tim Lewis got one today for $17.50. Oh, so everybody got it for like $17? That is awesome. If I had anywhere for a 5-gallon, I probably would have gone for that deal, because $17, that's crazy. That is crazy. We got a couple of Cooper chats. What? Cooper super pooper chats. Cooper super pooper chats. Yeah, there we go. That makes sense, right? We got a $2 super chat from Eric Gone Mad, our homie out in Chicago. I got to stay at their place. Is asking, can the Fish Fam camp for labor on my property? Not the Fish Fam, no. But Gone Mad, Eric and Iris, yes. This weekend would be a perfect weekend to come camp out at the property here if you want to do some labor. Because there's going to be some digging some holes. There's going to be putting in some fence posts. We're going to be building the chicken coop. It's going to be a little bit crazy around here. It's going to be cray-cray beginning tomorrow. So hopefully I got enough video edited and all that kind of stuff, because the sawing and mayhem begins mañana. En la mañana. You know what I'm saying? So you guys can, but I wouldn't say, like, it's not an open invitation for the Fish Fam. You know, vetting process and all that for coming over to my house. Kevin Keener with the $1.99 super chat saying, weird new button makes my bank account smaller. Well, hopefully it's for a good reason, right? I mean, it's at least so that you could use the button. I mean, if you get the use of the button, that's worth $1.99, right? You got to try it out. You got to test it out. Give it a test ride. That's worth $1.99, I think. How much is it to ride the bus now? That's what I'd like to know. How much is it to ride the bus? Let's see here. Alvin Alejo says, mine said it was out online, and when you went there, made them price match the site and used the coupons to lower it to $17. Well, that is genius. I like that. That is fantastic. I really like hearing that people got that tank at an awesome price. Jen Standring is at work, so you have to keep turning me off whenever your phone rings. Oh, are you watching on the same phone, or you can just hit mute, right? That'd work. You can hit mute, or you can pause it. Bare Bottoms Aquariums was sold out within 30 miles of you. Yeah, I don't know if I would have driven over 30 miles for that deal. It's Spadoinkle says it's totally sold out on in the South Sound. Oh ho! Let's see here. Yeah, a lot of people saying that like dealing with insurance was crazy. Yeah, it was definitely not. It's a chaos situation. I got an old truck. It got crashed. It's gonna cost a lot more to fix it, and they're just basically going like, well, here's the lowball deal, and maybe you'll go away, you know. So a little bit chaotic. But speaking of the South Sound, this weekend, Saturday, there is, Reef Works, which is a big old saltwater frag swap is going on at the Reef Works. Reef Works in Tukwila. It's a big old fish, little fish convention thing going on down in Tukwila, Washington. And you guys, I'll be showing up there at some point in time. So if y'all want to come like meet and greet with this guy, I don't have a booth. I don't have anything like that. I will be wandering around with my camera, and that's pretty much it. So I'll be there at some point in time. I'm planning on being there at 1, but who knows? So if y'all want to meet yours truly, I'll be there. And, well, hopefully, I mean, like 99% chance I'll be there. So if you want to come to check out a frag swap and some of that stuff, then I'll be there wandering around, and you can come check it out. Spadoinkle says tickets are only $5, which, yeah, it's only $5 to get in. So would definitely be fun to go to, but just a heads up to anybody, that's where I'll be at the Reef Works frag swap on Saturday. And Mr. Keener will be there. Be square, be there. Don't be square. I don't know. So that would be pretty cool. But I was happy to, I guess back to the topic here. I was happy to get the opportunity to feed these little puffers, and I'm happy to say that they're doing quite well. They definitely have acclimated really well to Corey's system. They don't really seem to even have any realistically big problems with adapting from the wild, because I mean the spotted Congo puffer is not being bred anywhere, so these aren't aquacultured. They seem to be doing pretty well. He's got quite a few in here. I think he has like 5 or 6. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many, but there are multiple. So hopefully he's got males and females, and hopefully he can get them breeding, because that seems to be the only way in I would be able to ever get in there, to be able to ever like own some of these guys, and they are true freshwater puffers. So I would be open to the possibility someday, but that's like many years down the road. Joel Hernandez with the $2 super chat saying just cuz. All right, thanks man. Thanks cuz. I appreciate it a lot. This is a big time. It's big time. I know a lot of people trying out their new iPhone super chat button. Kyle Paith with a $2 super chat just because too. Thank you, Kyle. Kyle Paith for sure. Dominic Martino with a $5 super chat asking, never been a Pleco guy. Now I want Plecos in my Scootin' Fruity tank. I want some smaller stunners, but not leopard frogs. Maybe you and chat have ideas. Well, the bristlenose Plecos that I have right now, I very much enjoy them. They are pretty darn fantastic, and I like them a lot. And they're pretty reasonably priced. You can find the Super Reds for like $20 at the stores, sometimes $30 or something like that. It's definitely not the $200 or $300 price tag of the leopard frogs. I find the bristlenoses to be fantastic. I've bred them personally. They're a lot of fun, great fish to have, and they are pretty I mean, I know a lot of people talk about autocinkless are going to clean up and a mono shrimp are going to clean up, but I honestly find my bristlenose to do way more cleaning than any of them combined. So, especially once we had like a pretty big colony of them going, you know. The fishy, let's see. Bentley Pascal has a great point. He tried the L33 333 is the yellow king tigers. Those guys are awesome and not as horrible as the leopard frogs, as expensive, but I think they're pretty close in coloring. I would actually hold on. Let me look those up and make sure. I think they're pretty close in coloring. Yeah, they're actually pretty close. They're the more stripy ones. Those guys are right around $50. Sometimes you can find them for like 40, like $39.99 at stores. They have a great. I mean, they're sort of like the knockoff of the leopard frogs, which I think is just as cool, honestly. You know, I mean, you just couldn't. You realistically couldn't convince me otherwise that you couldn't convince me otherwise to be like, you know, whatever. And then let's see, Fishy Mailman has a great option here with the L033s, which are they're the spotted ones. They're like all black with white spots on them. Those guys are awesome. Some that are really available that I've had in the past is clown plecos. Those are pretty easy to get a hold of, and they're only probably at the $10 price range at stores and stuff like that. So though they do eat a lot of wood, so if you have a lot of driftwood and stuff like that, they will generally just be kind of munching on the wood and stuff like that. But clown plecos are super fun. Hermes Borgnano, what's up, Ernest Borgnine? How you doing? Says got an L201 for 20 pounds in the UK. Lovely fish. Never see it. Yeah. Any of the small plecos, I would definitely recommend to get a group of them. It is hyper frustrating to have one fancy little pleco and you never see them. So one of the ways to deal with that is to get multiple of them. So realistically, one of those deals is if you go with a cheaper one, you can buy multiples, really, when you start to figure it out. It's like if you got a clown pleco and they're only about $10, then you could probably save up some money and get like a group of 8, you know, or something like that, depending on how big your tank is, obviously. But you want to get a group of them and give them some opportunity to, you know, be a lot more social and stuff like that. If you get them all by themselves, they will generally just hide out. It's just kind of what they do. It's what they do anyhow, but they'll do less of it when you do have a group. Savannah Morrow says super cheap is rubber lip plecos. Yep, rubber lip plecos would come in fantastically. Yep, those hadn't crossed my mind, but that's perfect. Freshman Aquatics, do you know of any cool plants for a paludarium that can grow partially in the water? Also, do you have any tips for converting Anubias to grow out of the water? Yes, I do. First of all, let's answer the Anubias. Let's answer the Anubias question. To convert it to grow out of water, you just have to have patience, because those leaves that have grown on the Anubias, if it has been fully converted to underwater, they will dry out. They will fall off, which is sad. It's a really sad situation. It kind of sucks, but that's the nature of it. But once it's above the water, you know, once it's above the water line, it will send out new leaves and it will grow. So you really just need to be patient. But on the upside, once you start growing it above the water line, you will actually notice that it does grow a lot quicker. It does grow a lot faster, more like a house plant than underwater Anubias. Another option that you can do is find out when your local store is going to get them in. You want your local store to get them in and ask them to never put them into the aquarium. So you might get lucky, because oftentimes the wholesalers are sending those out where they've been immersed emergent grown, which means they've been growing above the water line, because that's how they're grown in the greenhouses and stuff like that. So you can actually just skip the whole die-off situation and just take that thing straight out of the straight out of what's you just get straight out of the shipping box, and then just go put them straight into your paludarium. So that's what I would do with that. And then the other thing would be plants that'll grow above water in a paludarium. This is the most awesome thing that I can recommend anybody to do. Okay, I would recommend anybody to go to a local nursery, or the Home Depot, or Lowe's, or whatever hardware store you got near you, McClendon's, I don't know. I try to name them all because I'm not really partial to any of them except for the Home Depot, which I constantly spend money at all the time. But I try not to be partial to any of them, but somewhere where they have a plant nursery, they're going to have a wide selection of stuff that will actually grow in a marsh, and it doesn't need anything special if you are going to be growing it in a paludarium. You just need some good substrate for it. And that is what's really going to make it work. Because if it's growing up above the water line like that, it will actually do fantastically, and it's super cheap. You can find way affordable stuff at the hardware store for a paludarium, because everything's going to be growing above the water line, and a wide variety of stuff. Anybody at your local nursery or whatever will be able to let you know which places which plants actually have the ability to grow in kind of marshy root area, and then actually have really bright lights from aquarium lights, like LEDs and stuff like that. Let's see. We got some super chats to answer here real quick. We got a $2 super chat from Brett Dill. Thank you very much. Somebody said, make a Corvus Makes Me Poop mug. You can order them off of Teespring. If somebody posts the Teespring link into the chat, you can click on that, and you can order a Corvus Makes Me Poop mug. Excuse me. Itching my leg. Oh, my leg itches. I don't know why. But yes, there are many, many plants that will grow for your paludarium also, as a recap on that. And okay, I think I answered Dominic. Kevin Keener's got a $1.99 super chat from the iPhone action. You actually do it now. Potato was asking how many leopard. I left the video scene. I don't know why. How many leopard frog plecos in there? It's like 12 or 13. There's a bunch. So it's pretty good. But Kevin Keener with the $1.99 super chat was saying, definitely worth it. Gotta go. Wish me luck on the rush hour driving with the $1.99 super chat. Thank you, Kevin. Hope to see you Saturday at the Reefworks Frag Swap Extravaganza. That'll be fun. Dan Squires is saying, I was admiring your Anubias on wood as trees, Joel. Do you think I could get away with Bucaphilandra for smaller leaves? Yes, I have done that before. I don't have any of the tiny Bucaphilandra anymore, personally, because it died in the heater explosion move. I put all my expensive stuff in a bucket, you guys, with my shrimp and everything, and then I put the heater in there, and it all boiled, and it sucked. I hate recapping that, but that's as quickly as I can get through it. I haven't seen Inquisitive Fish Guy in the chat in a really long time, but I hope to be working on his project soon. Wherever Inquisitive Fish Guy is, maybe he's just not here today. He's taking a nap. Who knows? Let's see. Okay. Well, we're on to the chat. Since we're answering the chat questions, I'm going to pop out of the video because it does start to distract me, but let's go back. Whoop. Pushing buttons. We only got 15 minutes left, you guys, so let's scroll up here through the chat, try to answer some questions that people have gotten in out of the regular chat. Let's see. Let's see. Quinn Mallory says, yeah, I cashed in on the top fin deal, started a feeding frenzy on my Fish Club Facebook page when I posted it to share the wealth. It was funny. Yeah, people going crazy for that top fin tank. I like it. It's good stuff, man. I see more people with some nanos. Why not? Oh, yeah. Delicious coffee. Kevin Keener says bus fare is $275 for the peak. $250 the rest of the time, but this is Seattle. It's a donation system. I like that. Let's see. Trying to read through the chat. Aqua Naturalist is reminding that the Big Fish deal is this weekend. I am not going to the Big Fish deal this weekend. I will be at Reefworks in Tukwila. Let's see. Oh, here's a great tip from Potato. He's saying, look up a site called Planet Catfish. They have a list of all the plecos with pictures. That is a perfect place to go take a look if you are looking for some little plecos and maybe something that's a little more affordable, on the more affordable side. That's something I would go for there. Let's see here. Let's read the chat. All right, I already answered that. What happened over there? What was that thing? What'd that do? Something just flashed at me. Notification of something. Let's see. Savannah Morrow's asking, does anyone here use Wonder Shells for shrimp/snail tanks? Any feedback, good or bad? Yeah, I would definitely use... I've used Wonder Shells in the past. Definitely recommend it. That's old school. That's old school. And when I say I used it in the past, I got one a while ago and I threw it in my shrimp tank and it was fine. I know... once Corey actually clued me into them that he had them. I was like, what is that? And then I ended up picking up one at Aquarium Paradise, I think, like down south from here. Threw it in the tank. Shrimps ate it up. They did fine. It was totally cool. I happen to use a different calcium block typically because it lasts longer. But if you're really deficient, those will get absorbed super quick. So it's a better thing than I use for that if you're trying to catch up on your calcium and stuff. It's fantastic. I have a, let's see, Karen Pepe says, I have a Peasley that I planted in my aquarium that is doing okay, and they're oddly like a new BS. I'm completely confused by that comment, so I don't, yeah. Chris Thompson says, try peace lilies. They grow super well in the roots, with the roots in the water, but won't get many flowers. Yep, peace lilies are a great one for that. Also, there's a lot of pond lily variations that do quite well in paludariums, stuff like that. Karen Pepe says peace lily and Anubias. Yeah, Anubias. Let's see. Barbara Jackson says you can get a 6-pack of regular baby tears. Oh, that's a good point. With dwarf baby tears or regular baby tears, they do fantastically growing above the water out in the air. I learned that from a boy, Tom Barr, who is always posting pictures of his bonsai trees that are growing in little beds of baby tears that he's got them growing outside, and they're amazing looking, and I'm super jealous, but I don't have time for that. Chris Thompson says, can I post a link in chat? It's regards to the plants that can grow with the roots in the water. Unfortunately, if you're not a moderator, you can't post links into the chat, as far as I know. I don't think YouTube will let you if you're not a moderator. Sorry, something I can do for you right now. But you could always post the link in the comments down below, and then I can approve it once this uploads as a video. So that would be super helpful if you come back once it's uploaded, and then you go and post it in there. Then I can approve it so it can go through. But it won't let you do it live, no. Let's see here. RJL says, I gave APX 600 red cherry shrimp the heat test. While moving from Los Angeles to Las Vegas, temps went to low 30s halfway, then did the heater in a bucket mistake, all dead. Yeah, actually mine were cooked. You know, my shrimps were all like fully cooked. You could have eaten them. As a chef, I will tell you, they were fully cooked. They were ready to go. They were ready to go out to be served at someone's table. If to give you guys an idea of the consistency of what happened to my shrimp, they were cooked. I posted a picture of it on Facebook. I don't go back to look at it though, because it's sad. Hermes Borgnino, Mr. Ernest Borgnine says, always find nano tanks too much work compared to larger tanks. Yes, I actually shot a video today talking about that. It'll come out in probably a week and a half or something like that, of why I don't do nano tanks anymore and why I do large tanks now. As inspired by, I forget. Somebody was asking me about it. And I can't give them credit now because I forget. Aquaticy is here. What's the best and worst shrimps for beginners? Yes, I'm diving into shrimp keeping. Yeah, you better. This is awesome. The best shrimp to jump into would be cherry shrimps, so standard Neocaridinus. Then the next shrimp to move up to would be Sulawesi's, I would say, or Reelies. Really, Sulawesi, whichever one you feel like moving up to. Those would be the next step. Then crystals, pintos, all the Caridina shrimp. The full bore Caridina shrimp is where I would go to next. So those are kind of the 3 tiers of figuring it out, and that's the one. Those are the ones that I would recommend to start. Starter shrimp, intermediate shrimp, and well, advanced shrimp, I guess. I was almost going to say expert or something like that, but advanced, just more care. Barbara Jackson says, I predict a ton of top fin 5-gallon tanks available at the Goodwill next year. 5-gallon tanks are harder to keep. It's possible. I doubt it, because most of the fish fam with multiple tank syndrome, they just hold on to them. You know, I find myself doing that. I've got a 30-gallon breeder out there that I don't even need, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to, like, but tomorrow I'm going to walk out and put it on the corner, or out here with a free sign on it, and I bet it'll be gone. Let's see. Multi-tank addiction is here. What's up, man? I got I got the mug yesterday, and I forgot to shout it out on the Real Fish Talk. I think it was sitting there, but I forgot to shout it out. Mr. Chris, good to see you. Chris Thompson, different Chris. If you want to see a great list of plants, search for riparium plants, and then the first hit should be riparium plant list in there. You will find a long list of plants and species. Yep, riparium list. That is a great thing to Google. I was just saying that, like, one of the tips that I would give to people that are locally looking for stuff would be to go to, like, a hardware store and stuff like that, because you can find really good stuff for pretty darn cheap, for sure. Aquaticy says, thanks for the shrimp info. I'm thinking of doing a Wallstead method shrimp vase. I was thinking cherry shrimp would be appropriate. I have never recommended people to do a Wallstead method for a shrimp tank. There are a lot of variables that can happen nowadays with a lot of the high-tech stuff that we add to our aquariums, versus the Wallstead method. You know, remember that, you know, but if you actually are doing a Wallstead method vase where it's like just kind of using some ambient sunlight or whatever from outside, you should probably be okay. But you know, if something weird happens to be in that soil or whatever underneath your cap, it's really easy to kill off shrimp in a small tank like that. I've seen a lot of people do it over the years, and I try to avoid that at all costs, just killing stuff, you know, for any reason. Let's see. Jen Standring is here. I can't get Easy Green in Canada. I have Crypt Wendeti, Java Fern, and Anubias in a tiny tanks. What should I fertilize with that might be available here, liquid or caps. With those plants, I would recommend liquid. And Canada, I have no idea what the fertilizer situation is in Canada. I know that the regulations are way are way different up in Canada, so I'm not sure what exactly to recommend. I'm not sure. Not 100% sure on what they have up there. So hopefully some Canadians can chime in and help you out, but I just don't know, and it's not something I look into ever because I don't live in Canada. They won't even let me go into Canada, so I don't even really, not even really concerned about it all that much. Let's see here. Master Beta is here in the chat saying, missed the show, had a doctor appointment, but I'm here to throw a like and say hello to everybody. Well, Master Beta, good to see you, Dean. So, sorry to hear you had a doctor appointment. Hopefully it worked out, and hopefully they got everything handled that you needed. Joel Gillett says, I hate the bus, so claustrophobic, people and their friggin' elbows, and a clash of societal expectation. That's problematic. But then again, New Zealand is kind of crazy, so maybe the buses are even crazier there. All right. I think I'm pretty well caught up with the chat. So let's see. I don't really have like a ton of questions or anything like that. Let's see. Peyton Green is asking, why can't you go to Canada? I have too many crimes, no felons, but no felonies or anything like that. And no, I have never been convicted of any violent crimes. They're all passive nonsense crimes, like bad driving, bad behaving, being a dingleberry, kind of stuff. So, and they have, at the time, last time I tried, I had too many accumulated points that they were like, dude, you can't come to Canada. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, you can't come to Canada. Eh? Or something. I don't know. I can't do a Canadian accent. But hopefully I'll be able to go back fairly soon from what I can tell. I think they might let me go. So maybe I'll go up there and see what fertilizers they got. Let's see. Jen Standring with the follow-up is asking, I hear that Reach's flourish isn't complete, though. I think you're trying to say Seachem's flourish. Should it be sufficient? I've never had a lot of success with the Seachem fertilizer line personally. I don't know what it is, if it has anything to do with me or whatever. I just never had great success with their stuff. I did at certain points in time, had good stuff. I'm thinking it probably had something to do with storage or some of that kind of stuff, but not sure. And but it should be good. And also, it's been a really, really long time since I've tried their fertilizer or anything like that. So it might be better now. I don't know. Or maybe it was years ago. Maybe I got a bad batch or something. I don't know. But from what I understand, they have like a 3-part line. Let's see. Flourish. Flourish. Let me see what you got. Comprehensive supplement for the planted aquarium. Provides micro elements, trace elements, and other nutrients. Does not contain significant levels of nitrogen or phosphorus. So Flourish is their micro. So then you need to get something else for the macro. Right? Let's see here. So you need iron, Flourish, and something else. Where is it? So you can get Flourish trace elements, you can get Flourish iron, You get potassium, advance, nitrogen, phosphorus. Yeah, so this is my big problem, is that they don't have like a real all-in-one. I think that's what I was thinking about. I don't think they really have an all-in-one. So that could be a big problem for a lot of people. You're having to mess around with stuff and figure it out. That's why I did the Easy Green video the other day, because actually the Easy Green actually does work out really, really well for a lot of people out there, because it is macro and micro, and it pretty much covers the gambit of stuff that they need, and it's super easy to dose. A lot of people were arguing with me about how Thrive is better, which is one of those things that just seems like an opinion, you know, like an opinion. So I think they're both probably good. So if you want to go with one, go with one. If you want to go with the other one, go with the other one. But if you do go with Easy Green, or if you are going to order anything from the Aquarium Co-op, there is a link in the description down below. Click through that. It takes you right over to the Aquarium Co-op. You can order whatever you want. And no, I don't have a discount code, because I don't. There's no other way to describe it. I just don't have one. But maybe someday I will. I don't know. Maybe if you guys keep ordering, I'll be able to get a discount code or whatever. I don't know. So, yeah, if you guys click through that, you can. You can check out the Amazon banner, blah, 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 all that stuff, self-aggrandizing nonsense. Check out the Amazon wish list. Thank you, everybody, for the Patreon. Thank you all for the new patronizers. Bradley Park. Oh, well, Bradley Park is a revisited Patreon. Thank you very much, Bradley. Oh, that's Potate Bro, isn't it? I think that's Potate Bro. I'm confused. But Alvin Alejo, brand new to the Patreon. And oh, I guess never mind. Somebody else was new to the Patreon, but now they're gone. I don't know. For some reason. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I don't know why. Seemed like there was new ones, and now there's not new ones. But let me see. Let's see if I can do this. Is this thing working? Seems like Jack Betts is new. I'm super confused right now with the Patreons. But if you guys sign up for the Patreon, today's the last day of the month. Be able to kick in on the Patreon. That is like, you guys are the, what is it, sponsors. You guys are the sponsors of the show. We came up with the Oceaneers today. Oceaneers is new. Hashtag. The hashtag Oceaneers. I see Chicken Lips. I see Chicken Lips 2's avatar over here. It's cracking me up. Let's see. Quinn Mallory saying, since Real Fish Talk has the word of the day, you should have like a fun, crazy fact about the fish hobby or life. Maybe at some point in time. Steve's got to go. Phone's dying. Quinn Mallory again says, like, did you know some of the first aquariums were heated by a candle burning underneath it? That's right. Start a fire under that dang thing. We got a $1.99 super chat from Pleco Nation. Thank you very much, Pleco Nation. Always a big supporter from the Pleco Nation. Definitely posting into the Facebook page on a regular basis, and I dig it, man. Some really cool stuff. The Fat Ninja with a 2... What is that? That's not pounds. That's euros. Oh, that's the euro thing. I've never seen the euro thing in the super chat form. But the Fat Ninja with 2 euro super chat. Thank you very much. I love it. We're coming up on the end of the show here 3 minutes ago. So we had a little extended here. Thank you for all the super chatters. Thank you all for your amazing support today. Super badass. I hope you had a good time. If you didn't, feel free to subscribe and hit the like button and do all that kind of stuff. Leave a comment down below about how you didn't like it, and you don't like me, and you don't like my haircut, and you don't like my face, and you don't like whatever, because I like reading it. And so thank you very much, you guys. I very much appreciate all the support. It's big time, and I'm enthusiastic. Hopefully I see you guys on Friday. We got a big 666 show coming out on Friday, so it's going to be crazy. But thanks to all the moderators. Thanks to everybody for everything. Oh, we have another super chat here from Mr. B's Fishing Things with the 279 Canadian style. Thanks, Mr. B. Totally appreciate it. Hopefully everybody out there has a fantastic day. I got to roll. I got to get back to work. Busy. Love you guys. Have a great night out there. Don't shoot off any fireworks. Later. This almost sounds kind of like Crocodile Dundee.